So on November 15th in Baku at COP29, transparency was on the agenda. Of course, transparency is something that's really critical this year overall, with countries, national governments preparing to submit their first biannual transparency reports, BTRs, which will outline the processes by which they are preparing their national targets and the arrangements that they've put in place to make sure that those NDCs that they are submitting next year and other national plans and policies are thorough and conducted in a transparent way. We also had the third annual Accountability and Implementation Dialogue, where collaborative climate initiatives, voluntary collaborative climate initiatives were featured, including, of course, CHAMP, the Coalition for High Ambition Multilevel Partnerships that was launched last year at COP28 in Dubai, which now has over 70 national government endorsers, and which has seen some big successes in the last couple of days with the publication of two of the highly anticipated nationally determined contributions, first with the UAE and then with Brazil, both countries demonstrating a strong commitment to multi-level action and climate federalism, and highlighting the extensive process of consultation and sort of territorialization of the targets within their NDCs, both very encouraging signs for future implementation of CHAMP. And we look forward to other countries as they submit their NDCs, as they submit their BTRs, to highlight the importance of that multi-level engagement in developing ambitious, but more importantly, or equally importantly, implementable NDCs. Starting on the 18th of November, we'll be hosting a technical briefing here in the Multi-Level Action and Urbanization Pavilion for our partners and friends in the LGMA. On the 19th, we'll be hosting an event in the morning from 10 to 11, again here in the pavilion, looking at opportunities for multi-level action, both in terms of policy as well as finance, and talking to some key stakeholders from national government, from subnational governments, and from partner organizations and MDBs to really hone in on what the evolution of CHAMP is looking like in the coming year. And then, of course, on the 20th, CHAMP will be featured as part of the third ministerial meeting on urbanization and climate change, being hosted by the COP29 presidency in partnership with UN Habitat and the high-level champions.
I think I will be a little bit shorter than you, because I will try to give a summary of what happened in the negotiations, and unfortunately not a lot of things happened in the negotiations. Especially, we are following very closely the new collective quantified goal on climate finance, which is very important. The text that was published on the 13th of November included quite some important language that was providing access to finance for subnational levels, which is very crucial, and it is also one of the commitments that is coming from CHAMP, that the national governments have committed to design, implement and finance their NDCs together with their subnational levels. So we are kind of now, the bilaterals and the informal meetings are happening between parties, and we are following very closely the final text, and we will be kind of asking for that access part to be maintained in the final text, which is important for CHAMP, but also for our constituency, to make sure that we can actually be a part of an implementation partner of the Paris Agreement. And then moving on, also we are very closely following the mitigation work program, which is also waiting for a new text. We might see the text this evening, and we will be kind of also advocating that the relevant kind of language on the cities and the sustainable urbanization is kept in the text as a kind of way for the mitigation action. Building on those, also another important update from today, which was the Energy Peace and Relief Day, that we kind of had a new announcement from the parties, which is the kind of the global pledge on energy storage and grids, which was a kind of an important statement to announce that kind of parties are taking an additional step to also accelerate the energy transition. The first pledge was also a part of the global stocktake that came last year, which was kind of tripling the renewable energy and doubling energy efficiency and phasing down fossil fuels. And this year, there is another pledge that came as an initiative of the presidency to actually accelerate action on the storage and the grid system infrastructure. So with all of those, we will probably see new texts on the 16th of November, and then the negotiations will intensify because we need to close a number of negotiation items as of tomorrow, and then the technical bodies need to hand over their technical work to the presidency for kind of finalizing texts at the political level. On this note, on the 16th of November, there will also be quite important events in the LGMA pavilion, so it's important to also check the pavilion agenda.